Supreme Court opens the next major Second Amendment battle. So let's get into it. The United States Supreme Court has officially granted review to the next major Second Amendment case. And once again, this case centers on state-level concealed carry restrictions. Laws that were passed in open defiance of what the Supreme Court clearly laid out in their 6-3 ruling in New York State Rifle and Pistol Association versus Bruen. Trump DOJ and 26 states enter the fight. Now here's where this gets even more serious. The Trump Department of Justice has formally asked the Supreme Court to participate in oral arguments. And on top of that, 26 states have filed briefs in support of this challenge, all aimed at striking down these unconstitutional concealed carry restrictions. So make no mistake, this is a massive, two-way Second Amendment case that will be decided this Supreme Court term. Why this case matters to every gun owner, and today we're going to break down exactly what is happening and why this case matters to every lawful gun owner in America. Sponsor segment, preparing for uncertain times. But before we get into that, I want to thank the sponsor of today's video, Patriot Gold Group. With the Federal Reserve pivoting toward cutting interest rates, that historically means one thing: more money printing. We're seeing cracks in the job market, concerns about mortgage rates, mortgage distress, and searches related to housing stress are back up to 2008 levels. Major voices in the financial industry are warning that 2026 could be more explosive than anything we've seen before. All of this is happening while the national debt blows past $38 trillion. On the flip side, gold has been moving in a very different direction. Major banks are openly stating that gold could hit $5,000 an ounce or more. And if you're a gun owner, you already understand what it means to hedge against uncertainty. When the system gets shaky, you protect yourself, your family, and what matters. Your finances should be no different. Patriot Gold Group helps Americans secure their retirement with physical gold and silver, either delivered to your doorstep or stored in a no-fee-for-life IRA. They specialize in rolling over your IRA or 401k into tangible precious metals that you actually own. If you're interested, call Patriot Gold Group today and mention Armed Scholar for best-in-class service. You can also call 888-581-3830 to get your free investor guide. The case at the center, Wolford versus Lopez. Now, as mentioned earlier, this video focuses on a critical case called Wolford versus Lopez. The Supreme Court has granted review, oral arguments will happen in January, and the case will be decided this term. Once again, this case directly involves concealed carry restrictions. Why this case affects millions of Americans? This case is massive for residents of New York, New Jersey, California, Hawaii, Maryland, and other states that have imposed aggressive concealed carry restrictions on lawful permit holders. How this case reached the Supreme Court. The Hawaii Wolford case originally sought emergency Supreme Court intervention, which surprisingly was granted. The challenge centers on a preliminary injunction and a Ninth Circuit ruling claiming Hawaii's catch-all public property ban was permissible under the Second Amendment. Trump DOJ and Ag Bondi step in. Recently, the Trump Department of Justice and Attorney General Bondi stepped in to support this challenge. They called directly for these state bans to be struck down as unconstitutional. This support may have played a role in the Supreme Court deciding to take this case. And once again, the Trump DOJ has stepped up. They are seeking to formally participate in oral arguments on the pro-Second Amendment side. In addition, 26 states have filed amicus briefs urging the court to strike down these concealed carry bans. How Hawaii defied Bruen? If you're unfamiliar with the Wolford case, here's the core issue. Hawaii passed new concealed carry laws in direct response to Bruen. Just like other states, they attempted to add restrictions after losing at the Supreme Court. They created a default rule where carry is banned on private property open to the public unless the owner gives express permission. Lower courts and the Ninth Circuit problem. The plaintiffs and several pro-Second Amendment groups sued Hawaii. The lower court issued a preliminary injunction blocking the law. Hawaii appealed to the Ninth Circuit. The Ninth Circuit reviewed this case alongside a similar California law and ruled the ban constitutional. They reversed the injunction. The plaintiffs requested en banc review. That request was denied. This led directly to an emergency appeal to the Supreme Court. The court granted review and scheduled oral arguments for January 20th. The question before the court. The Supreme Court will decide whether the Ninth Circuit erred by holding in direct conflict with the Second Circuit, that Hawaii may presumptively ban licensed concealed carry on private property open to the public unless express permission is granted. DOJ and state's core arguments. One reason the court likely took this case was the Department of Justice briefing. The Trump DOJ argued that Hawaii's law was designed solely to suppress concealed carry. They noted that Hawaii already has trespass laws. Property owners can already ban firearms by posting signs. So this law was never about property rights. It was about making carry practically impossible, expanding gun-free zones until carry exists in name only. Lawmakers admitted few businesses would opt in, making almost everywhere off limits. Mother May, carry and second-class rights. The 26 states argued that the Second Amendment is not a second-class right. Instead of presuming carry lawful, Hawaii flipped the rule. Carry is forbidden unless permitted, reducing a constitutional right to a game of Mother May. They urged the court to reverse the Ninth Circuit and restore constitutional protections. Why this case shapes the future of 2A law. This case will force another full text, history, and tradition analysis. It will guide lower courts on how Second Amendment cases must be handled. Even though anti-gun courts will continue to resist, this is another chance for the Supreme Court to shut down open defiance. What happens next? Final thoughts. This term, the Supreme Court will rule once again on concealed carry. The Trump DOJ has asked to participate in oral arguments. As more information develops, I will bring you updates. If you found this video helpful, the best way to support the channel is to like, comment, and subscribe. You can also check out one of the videos on screen right now.